Hello everyone, and we're going to do a book talk for Humbug. This is a little novella. It was 103 pages, the edition that I read. And this is a Christmas romance. It was published in 2011. This is set in Utah, specifically in the Salt Lake area. It does mention that. And this is an adult romance, but there is nothing sexually explicit or anything. You don't have to worry about that. This is the start of a new series. The series is called Christmas Street, and this is book number 1 out of 7. And this is told in third person. So for this one, we are following mostly Lexi, who is a single mother. And she lives on this street where they kind of go out and decorate for Christmas. She is a decorating TV show host. So she hosts a TV show where they do decorations or decorating. It is mentioned, again, like I said, she is a single mother. She does have red hair. She has a son and a daughter, and she is 30 years old. The other POV and the male interest in this that we are following is Kyle, and he is also 30 years old. He lives next door to Lexi, and he is an author. He does use a pen name, and so it does take a little bit for her to figure out who her neighbor actually is. And of course, then there's this whole debacle with this snowman that was built, and then you find out why he doesn't really like to celebrate Christmas. Grief is a theme, and coming to terms with that. So grief as far as loss of a parent, things like that. You do have communication with siblings and just people trying to overcome the death of a loved one in this, especially around Christmas. It is specifically hard for them. Some of your that's the story. It's 103 pages of a romance between the two. So as far as the tropes, it is a grumpy sunshine. If you like grumpy sunshine, there you go. And insta-love. So it's a grumpy sunshine. I would also say insta-love because it's very much, they kind of are like infatuated, like instantly attracted to each other, don't want to admit that they're in love, but know that they're in love. And it just is very quick moving. So I would classify it as insta-love. As far as your representation goes, you have artificial insemination mentioned. And as far as racial representation, you have someone who is mentioned where they are Irish Italian. So anything outside of that would be up to your imagination. As far as content or trigger warnings, death of a parent, parental abandonment, and cancer is talked about. There was an audiobook available when I listened to this, and it was narrated by Anne Johnston Brown, and it was 2 hours and 35 minutes on standard one-time speed. I will say this, I do not recommend reading along with the book while listening to the audiobook. There are things that are eliminated and slight differences with certain wording, sentence structure, like wordings, and other words that are omitted and used instead of. So there are slight variations. So I would either read it or like either physically or ebook or listen to it. I would not combine the two. As far as if you are still on the fence, we have the following words. We have the word cancer one time. We have the name Christ used religiously as far as, for one, it's Christmas, but two, in this one, it is in the form of a song. So the name comes up in a song as well as the word God one time. And Christ and Lord, Christ, God, Jesus, and Lord all come up one time. And it is when people are singing a Christmas song. So that is it. That is your representation on that. Where is my phone? I'm going to try to pull up the author's bio. Just about forgot that. I was just going to end it, and it's like, nope, I'm forgetting something. So, okay, so this is written by Heather Horrocks. I think I forgot to say that. So Heather is the author. It says, and I quote from Goodreads, it says, "I'm an author who had a somewhat unorthodox upbringing. I was raised in South America and the Middle East and wrote my first stories as a teenager in Kuwait, where my sister and I proved it really is hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk. I wrote my first novel in 3 months on a typewriter when I was 21. I used every romance cliche possible, including amnesia. Need I say more? and never rewrote anything, which is why it's so much fun to pull it out occasionally when I need a good laugh. I wrote sporadically until my youngest child, who is now 18, was 2, when I decided it was time to either actually start writing or to stop saying I was a writer. So I took a class and started doing scary things that writing requires. Now I've written about 12 novels and several children's books. And that's all about Heather. So there's another series called Pride and Precipitation. And let's see, How to Stuff a Wild Zucchini. Another series called Moonchuckle Bay. Who Done Him In series. So she's got quite a few, there's quite a few books out by this author. So yeah, let me know if you have read Bah Humbug by Heather, or have you read anything else by this author? Definitely let me know. Knowing that this is a Christmas novella and it is a clean romance, I know there are a lot of people who don't want any spice or smut, so if you don't want any of that, then this would be a safe bet. I would not classify this as a religious romance in any way. The only religious part is just the Christmas Carol, and again, that's going to be up to you. You can say, oh, it's just a Christmas song, so you may not classify that part as religious, and other people will. So, you know, it just depends on your opinion on that, and that's perfectly fine. So definitely let me know if this is something that would be up your alley or not. If you are trying to visit all of the 48, all the 50 states like I am through your books, this one again is set in Utah. So let me know if this is something that you would be interested in, or if this would be a pass for you. Definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.